What is going on, YouTube world? My name is Ghiman Mckinney. Appreciate you guys for tuning into the channel today. Be sure to like the video right now if you're rocking with your boy. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly and almost every single day if I can. Alright, Cincinnati Bengals are up today on the chopping board. I'm going to go game by game on the Cincinnati Bengals schedule. I'll tell you where I can find some wins and losses on their schedule, and if the Bengals can at least return to some relevancy in 2019-2020, because let's be real, the last couple years for the Bengals have been rough. Obviously, I have friends in Ohio who are Bengals fans. I am from Ohio. I am not a Bengals fan. I'm a Packers fan, but I'm going to go over the Bengals today. We're going to see where I can find some wins and losses. All right. Look, I don't know what to make of the Cincinnati Bengals team. I really don't. You started 4-1 last year, okay? But you only finished the season with 6 wins. So, over the next, what was that, 11 games? You only won 2 of them or something like that. Over the last 10 or 11 games, you only won 2 games, okay? That's not good. That's just terrible. Obviously, you fired Marvin Lewis after 1,000,000 years, okay? He was there for a century. I don't know how he was still there for a century. I don't know how this man Marvin Lewis was still there after going over a decade without winning a single playoff game with one franchise. I mean, at some point, you know, I applaud Cincinnati. I applaud them because they finally moved on from that man. Not saying he's a terrible head coach, but he just wasn't getting it done. The whole point is to just win playoff games in the NFL. It's not to go 10-6 in the regular season, 12-4 in the regular season, and get smacked in the playoffs. You gotta win playoff games. And Marvin Lewis just didn't do that. I'm happy for Cincinnati. They finally moved on from that man because, man, they needed to, okay? You bring in Zach Taylor. Now, he spent some brief time with the LA Rams. You know that Zach Taylor is going to be your new head coach. As I mentioned, spent brief time with the LA Rams as the quarterback coach and the assistant wide receiver coach. So he has some experience under Sean McVay. A lot of people point to Sean McVay as being the next Belichick potentially, or the next offensive guru. So, you know, I think Zach Taylor will come with some new things. Obviously, he's been a quarterback coach, so I think he can potentially get the best out of Andy Dalton. But let's be real. I am not a believer in Andy Dalton. I'm just not. Andy Dalton, to me, is just an okay quarterback. And honestly, the Bengals, I think Bengals fans should honestly pray that Andy Dalton has a bad season and just move on from him. Because I don't know why they didn't. I don't know why you guys didn't draft Dwayne Haskins. I just don't know that. You need to restart their franchise. Andy Dalton, he's peaked. He's not getting any better. I don't see Zach Taylor bringing the best out of him at all. But hey, you know, look, I'm going to say this right now. Cincinnati, to me, it's weird to me how bad they are because they actually have some talent on this team. You know, you got players like A.J. Green. You got players like Joe Mixon. You got players like Geno Atkins. I mean, Carl Lawson. I mean, you got, what, Bates, who you drafted out of Wake Forest. I mean, he's a good player. You got Boyd still. Cincinnati has talent, but as far as the talent in their division, I'm just going to tell you right now, you're the 4th most talented team in your own division. I'm just going to be real with you. You're not more talented than Cleveland. You're not more talented than Pittsburgh. You're not more talented than Baltimore. But hey, talent doesn't win football games. You got to do it on the field. You got to execute things on the field. So let's see if Cincinnati can do that. Now, obviously, in the draft, you added Jonah Williams in the draft with your 1st-round pick, but he is out for the entire season, I believe, or at least for the majority of the season. He suffered an injury. Okay, he's not really going to contribute much this year, but definitely something to look for in the future. You drafted Drew Sample, a solid tight end prospect, but I think the main reason you drafted him was because, let's be real, Tyler Eifert can't stay healthy to save his life. So he's really pretty much providing some insurance for when Tyler Eifert decides to miss his 6 games for the whole year. Whenever he's hurt, I don't know when he's going to be available to play. We don't know. And you did draft Ryan Finley, but I'm going to be real with you. Ryan Finley's not your future. You kind of just drafted him for a backup role, in my opinion. But hey, I've done enough talking. Let's see if I can find any positivity out of the Cincinnati Bengals schedule and see if they can win some games and see if they can improve. Because honestly, I think Cincinnati, look, they have some good fans. They deserve to be good, okay? So we'll see what they can do. At Seattle, 49ers, at home, at Bills, at Steelers. All 4 losses. I just don't see any wins. I just don't. Look, Seattle, you're not better than them. They made the playoffs last year. You mean to tell me Andy Dalton's going to come into Russell Wilson's place and beat Russell Wilson in Seattle? I don't see that at all. It's an automatic loss there. You could win that game, but I just don't see it. Now, 49ers at home. Now, I think you potentially have a chance to win this game. I think, you know, quarterbacks, you saw with Carson Wentz last year. Carson Wentz was a little bit rusty coming off a major injury. Jimmy G is coming off a major injury, so he could be a little bit rusty. But I just think the 49ers are a better team. They're a more talented team than Cincinnati, okay? They got, look, San Francisco has one of the 5 most talented defensive lines in all of football. They do. DeForest Buckner, Nick Bosa, who they added in the draft. Okay, D Ford. That's a nasty defensive line. The Bengals' offensive line is nowhere near elite. It's nowhere near elite, okay? So Andy Dalton's going to get smacked every play. They added Jason Verrett in the secondary to add Richard Sherman. Every time Andy Dalton goes up against a good defense, he's terrible. I'm just telling you right now, you'll lose. Look, you get him at home, you could win this game, but the 49ers to me are just a more talented team. I think the 49ers are a dark horse team this year. I think they will win 10 games. I think that you are just a perfect scenario of the moment. You'll lose that game at the Bills. Look, the Bills, you could win this game, but Josh Allen actually found ways to win games last year without a lot of talent around him. Now, they did add David Stills in the draft. Well, they didn't really draft him. They signed him through a free agent signing. He was an undrafted guy, but I think he's a sleeper pick for them that they picked up in free agency. Okay, they added Ed Oliver to their defensive line. They have Tre'Davious White. This Bills team is coming along nicely. I think the Bills are improved. They had a very good draft. They drafted Cody Ford too. It's a tough place to play at Buffalo. I could see you win this game, but I just don't see it at the same time. And the Steelers on the road. The Steelers do play down the competition at times, but Big Ben, better quarterback than Andy Dalton. Running back, pretty even. Wide receiver, pretty even. But defensively, the Steelers are definitely better than the Bengals. You're going to lose that game. Now, next 4 games. Can you win some games here? Cardinals at home, at Ravens, Jaguars at home, at Rams. You're going to win one of those games. So, heading into your bye week, I have you only winning 1 game, okay? Look, the Cardinals, you could win this game. But I love what the Cardinals did in the draft. I really do. The Cardinals are not a bad team. Just because you have a bad record in the NFL does not mean you are a bad team. The Cardinals have some talent. They have Patrick Peterson actually won't be playing, but they did draft Byron Murphy. Okay, they still got Larry Fitzgerald. They still got Christian Kirk, who's a very good underrated wide receiver. They added Andy Isabella. They added Hakeem Butler, and they added Kyler Murray. And I think Kyler Murray will shred your defense because let's be real, your defense was terrible last year. Okay, your defense was absolutely terrible. You were one of the bottom 5 defenses last year. So I don't see any optimism for your defense. I don't think you'll be able to stop Kyler Murray and what Cliff Kingsbury will want to dial up this year. I think the Cardinals will be improved this year. I just think that you could win at home, but I think you'll lose that game at the Ravens. You beat them last year in your house, but I think you'll split with the Ravens this year. You'll lose at Baltimore. They're a better team than you. Lamar Jackson's a better quarterback than Andy Dalton. They have very good running backs. They have a good offensive line, which is very underrated. Marlon Humphrey is the best cornerback that's not talked about in the NFL. And Earl Thomas adding to that secondary really helps them. I think that the Ravens beat you in Baltimore. Now, I do see you getting your first win versus the Jacksonville Jaguars in your house. Okay, I think you'll beat the Jaguars. Look, they have a very good defense. I started to give you a loss here, but you get them at home. They weren't a very good team last year. They need to show me that they can continue to improve. I don't really like their weapons on offense. They have a very good defense. They have an elite defense. Jalen Ramsey, AJ Boye, they added Josh Allen in the draft, who's very, very good defensive end out of Kentucky / outside linebacker. I like their defense, but again, their offense is just inept to me. And look, I think Cincinnati has the potential to put up some points. I don't know why you don't use just John Ross enough. I don't know why he's not panned out. I don't know why he is right now, as of right now, a bust. I don't know what's going on with him, but maybe you use him in this game. I just think Andy Dalton's good enough to put up some points versus Nick Foles at home. Nick Foles is a very good quarterback to me, but I just don't think he has enough weapons around him to operate. I think you beat the Jaguars. At the Rams, that's probably your biggest win of the season so far. That's your only win of the season so far. You'll lose at the Rams. Look, they're a better team. You're not. Look, Cincinnati, you're in for a rough year. You're not going to be a very good team this year to me. Look, I just don't see you winning this game. Marcus Peters, Aqib Talib, Aaron Donald's going to eat your offensive line alive. Okay, they have Todd Gurley at running back. They made the Super Bowl. That should be the only indication that you need to know. They made the Super Bowl last year. You guys were picking a top 11 in the draft. You'll lose that game on the road. So this will take you to your bye week. Ravens at home. Raiders on the road. Okay, Steelers at home. Jets at home. 2-2 in that stretch of games. I think you'll win 2 of those games out of the 4. Look, you beat the Ravens last year. I think you can beat them again. You're not a better team than Baltimore, but again, it's a tough divisional game. You'll win one of those games, in my opinion. At Oakland. I think the Raiders, to me, right now, actually are a better team than you. Derek Carr, to me, is a better quarterback than Andy Dalton. Okay, they don't have a very good running back. Well, actually, they did. They added Josh Jacobs out of Alabama. I think he's going to do some very good things versus your sorry defense, okay? They added Antonio Brown. They got some very good wide receivers. Look, Oakland, to me, they're going to put some points this year. I think they're going to put some points. Now, will they do well on defense? We shall see. But they did add some players to defense. They added Clelin Ferrell in the draft. They drafted Jonathan Abraham out of Mississippi State. Okay, they added some players on defense in the draft, so I think their defense can only go up from this point. If it was in Cincinnati, I'd pick you guys, but it's at Oakland. That's a loss there. Steelers at home. I just think the Steelers will sweep you again this year. I just don't think you're good enough to beat the Steelers. I understand you played them tough last year, but you get them on the road. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers will be very motivated this year. Big Ben's going to have a bounce-back season this year after leading the league in interceptions this past year and missing the playoffs. Spoiler alert, I think the Steelers win your division. Yeah, I just have you losing to the Steelers. They're a better team than you. And then right here, the Jets at home. I think the Jets are a better team than you, actually, but you get them at home. Sam Darnold is a very, very inconsistent quarterback. They don't have the offensive parts around him for him to operate at a high level, in my opinion. I just don't see the Jets winning a game at Cincinnati. I think you win a good home. I think you win this game at home. And then the last 4 games of the season: at Cleveland, Patriots at home, at Dolphins, Browns at home. All 4 losses. I just don't see it. The only win I can really see you getting is versus the Cleveland Browns at home. I just think Cleveland is more superiorly talented than you guys. I just do. OBJ, Jarvis Landry, Myles Garrett, Sheldon Richardson, Baker Mayfield. I mean, they got players all over. Denzel Ward, too. Cleveland's a better team than you guys. They just are. You're not going to beat the Bengals. You're definitely not winning at the Browns, in my opinion. You're not beating Bill Belichick and that Patriots team. Don't even think about it. You actually might, because they did lose to Detroit. They did lose to Jacksonville last year. But if I had to bet my money, I'm going to go down swinging with this one. I'm going to say Bill Belichick and the defending Super Bowl champs beat you. And then at Miami, you could win this game. But again, Miami has some decent players. They have Xavier Howard. They got Minkah Fitzpatrick. They got Kenyon Drake. I think Josh Rosen and Ryan Fitzpatrick can get hot for at least 1 week. I think one of those weeks will be versus you guys. So in conclusion, I think the Cincinnati Bengals win 3 games. I just don't. I could see 5 wins. I could see 6 wins maybe. But at max, 6 wins. I just don't see this team doing anything. And look, I think that they finally started to pull in the coffin. This year, the fact that Cincinnati keeps a lot of their players, the fact that they usually are prone to keeping a lot of their coaching staff, aka Marvin Lewis, the fact they moved on from Marvin Lewis tells me this organization kind of is in a little bit of a rebuild mode. I just think that, honestly, they're looking to move on from Andy Dalton. I really do. I think it's the best situation. They're probably going to draft Justin Herbert or Tua Tagovailoa in the draft. This defense is not very good. Cincinnati is one of those teams that always has injuries. They have a rookie head coach. Andy Dalton's peaked to me. You have a decent running back in Joe Mixon. Your offensive line's in questions to me. Your secondary's in questions. You have one good safety, okay? I just don't see Cincinnati pulling together any wins. You're by far the least talented team in your own division. And again, I feel for Bengals fans, but again, I just think the Bengals are in for a rough season. It's a wrap for this video. Be sure to like the video right now if you're rocking with your boy. Subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. Turn on post notifications too so you don't miss a video. I post a ton of great sports videos weekly, and almost every single day if I can. Tell me where I'm right. Tell me where I'm wrong. Okay? You know, do you agree with my picks? Do you disagree with my picks? You know, is Andy Dalton the answer in Cincinnati? I don't know. We shall see. But hey, the best thing you guys can do to help this channel grow is just tell people about this channel. I want to become a sports analyst when I get older. I want to become one of the next great broadcasters. I want to become one of the next great sports analysts, okay? So just please help this channel grow. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram. I want to have one of my big on-time networks when I get older. I potentially want to work for a big-time network like Fox Sports 1 or ESPN. I just want to see where this will take me. I think I'm starting something special with this YouTube channel, so if you believe in me and my dreams, just subscribe and tell all your friends about the Juice Alerts, the place to be in 2019 and so forth. It's been your boy, Ghiman Mckinney. God bless all you, and I'm out.